let's reintroduce our cast, starting with Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen, and tonight I will be playing the Vesperin, the Sea Elf Rogue.
Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm directing tonight. I'm playing Sailix, Lavendil, the Crestfallen, the Elven Guard.
Look at the Elven Guard. I love that your background still carries with you, but it's like the weirdest way to describe you, you know?
No longer the Elven Guard.
Yeah, once an Elven Guard. Sam?
Hi guys, I'm Sam. I am debuting as Aghi, the Kragan half-orc.
You didn't hear, nobody heard any of that.
Oh,
Daniel,
I'm so sorry.
Daniel, don't give me that look. You didn't hear that. Don't give me that look. Unhear that.
Yes, we've unheard it.
Pharasma is back.
Yeah,
No,
what did you say?
Pharasma's not back.
You guys thought you were done.
I hope Pharasma's not back. You might bring her back. Don't die. It's Spence.
Hi, I'm Spence, and I'm no longer dead. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but I am both Monica Freerunner and Aldonis the Warg.
I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve. Tonight's session is brought to you by Smiteworks, the creators of Fantasy Grounds Unity, which we've been using as our virtual tabletop of choice. So everything you see other than our beautiful faces, that's Fantasy Grounds. If you like it, go to fantasygrounds.com and you can try it out. Also, our music is by Rock Narden, and our ambient tracks is by Michael Gelfi. You can find links to their music in the show notes. But let's get into tonight's game. So I'm going to put some time between what happened last. You all awoke from the other side of the dream gate, leaving behind a night of absolute terror and dismay, and also leaving behind Rune. He didn't return with you as you left. The next few hours, what survived of the crew it's maybe half a dozen people in total. Even the ship's captain, his husband didn't survive, and he's left with just a few people to clean up the bodies. Above this cove where the ship had crashed into this dream portal, Cypress Point has maybe a couple of citizens left. They were all killed as they were caught in the crosshairs of the Scarlet Triad's dark plans. And let's take it to nighttime. There's a massive pyre where the bodies are burning. But beyond this hill, the inn, Vesperin and Sailix, they're enjoying a drink. But Aldonis, that man that you've recently met, he's just beyond town, just outside the walls. You can see his silhouette far away. It's over where the town, the clearing, meets the forest, and he seems to be looking at you.
Well, that's a thing. I kind of look to Sailix and just be like,
So they're inside in the tavern.
I go to the wall and I look at him and say, so we're leaving?
Not yet.
Well, cool then. Do you want to come share a drink? Do you drink? I don't know how gods work. This is weird.
I don't need it. It's been quite some time. I need to figure this out myself. When we go, you're going alone.
So, like, really by myself, not with you, not with anybody. Okay.
I'll be close by, but I need you to think about where you want to take this.
Well, what do you need? What? I know that there are a lot of people who probably like me, probably like Monica, were blindsided by Lamash2, who promised it a lot. And they didn't know for whatever reason about the slavery and the triad and all that. So I figure you probably need someone to convince them that you're back or that you exist.
They need not know either of those things.
Oh, okay then.
But you know Lamish 2 is lying.
Well,
When
yeah.
she told you that you're evil. And that's all that matters, but I need you to figure out where you want to go. Find a map and mark a spot. And when you've done that, come back to me.
All right then. That's both vague and insightful. So great. I'll talk to you soon. Oh wait, I don't have that hand. I'll talk to you soon. Forgot, no hand. It's a tradition now, so I'm gonna have to lose a hand in every campaign. Anyway.
Don't lose your second one.
Oh God, don't say that. So I go back to the tavern and sit down with Vesperin and Sailix.
As you arrive, they've actually headed to the inn.
Oh,
It was quite a walk to get to the edge of town. They've headed to the inn is kept separate from the tavern, but a few people are drinking, including Crassius Sargata, the ship's captain.
so what'd I miss? Anything?
Why don't you tell me what happened? The captain says.
Oh God. Like what happened just now or what happened yesterday that felt like a year?
That night.
Yeah, I figured. Well, a lot of us got I don't know very much about magic, so let's see how to best describe this. We got like sucked into a portal that took us to a nightmare realm that was being controlled by this weird entity that was neither the goddess of dreams or the goddess of nightmares or whatever. So we, with the help of some people in there, we killed the thing that was controlling the nightmares and the dreams. We fought a bunch of the triad that were using that scape to portal into other areas. So, we did that. And then Rune did something really dumb, and then I did something really dumb, and Monica's back now. You've never met her, but she's kind of my mom. Anyway, and yeah, then we were sent back.
Was it worth it?
Well, killing the Menoth guy was worth it. He's been like he did terrible things to Kintargo and did terrible things to Sailix and to Rune, and yeah, I don't think it was worth the cost out here. But at the same time, anybody who lost their lives in that portal won't be subjected to the nightmares. Does that make sense?
I don't know anything about that. I know as I lost my ship, the Scourge of Belial, its rubble.
Yeah. And not to mention your personal loss, for which I have no words. And he tries really hard to embody Diedrich at this point, and it's just like, you know.
When does Rune come out then, huh?
No idea. He wasn't allowed to come through the portal with us.
Hmm.
Because he did something stupid.
Interesting. Well, he should fear me when he arrives.
Well, there are a lot of people who there's a lot of people who have him on their list of people to maim.
Intriguing. It continues to grow.
Yeah, it does. And I can't do anything about that except hope time heals, because really, how is the suffering of one person going to alleviate your own?
You might not know very many Chelishmen. Making others suffer, that serves us pretty well. But, and he gets up from his stool. You just send him my way. If you see him, right?
I can't make that promise because he does whatever he wants. But I can tell him that you're looking for him, and if he wants to give penance, that he needs to seek you out.
Without responding, he'll just leave. What does Aldonis and Monica do for the night before heading out?
Aldonis really doesn't know how to react to they really don't know how to react to each other. Monica is both absolutely furious that Aldonis jumped into the River of Souls to help bring her out. But at the same time, she's really happy to be back after 2 years in the amulet and not being able to do very much of anything. Aldonis is also confused that he did what he did because he saw both that she didn't want to be in this new life, or at least that's what he interpreted from the vision that Dahlia gave him.
Right.
But at the same time, like, he wanted her back. He wanted her back both for his own reasons and for other people's reasons. So they sit in silence for a long time. And she spends a lot of time just touching things.
Right.
And making sure everything is real.
It doesn't even seem real.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest. It's a transition to be in a state of weightlessness and embodying only thought and emotion until suddenly you're awake.
Yeah.
And it doesn't truly feel that way, especially since everybody you knew before this, they seem different. The last time you saw them in the flesh was before the battle at Bedario, even, because you were captured before this big finale, and now they seem to be brushing you off.
Yep.
Almost avoiding you. But in the morning, it looks like everybody, it's all said and done, it's about a dozen of you, ready to head back to Kintargo. Sailix, Vesperin, anything of note from the night before you head out?
Don't just drink your beer.
A couple of
sassily at
fortitude
me.
saves, apparently. Woo.
No, not really. Probably.
Yeah.
Sailix was in full-on depression mode.
Yeah.
Mourning, because he murdered his fiance.
Will saves then, actually, from everybody as you try to sleep.
Okay.
This
Great
guy.
idea.
This guy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything
Yeah.
ever again.
Right.
It was too late.
I have the best will.
I secondly.
We both do.
A 19 and a 20 from both of you? Holy shit.
Yeah. Elves got it going on, man.
That's about it. That's all we got
We
going
are
on.
great at holding it together.
We're great at seeming like we're holding it together.
Right? Yeah. We're
Thin veneer.
perfect. Exactly.
Wow.
Like,
It'll
well,
catch up to you, but that's good.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess like for Vespa's part, like she would just kind of like not want to be clingy, but is totally like I just want to like be near you and cuddle you and stuff because like I don't want to sleep alone. But like trying to play it cool, like if you wanted whatever, like you don't have to, but it's definitely like please hold me because I'm scared.
So, Sailix has seen that kind of
Yeah.
behavior before.
Right.
So he's just kind of like, he's there. Like, he puts on
Okay.
that stoic face of his, and he's like, oh, okay. So, so we're both sleeping in the same single bed together tonight. All right.
Yeah.
This is
if
happening.
you want to, like, it's no big deal. All right. I mean, I could just go over here, but please don't leave me.
Just mouthful of feathers every time she goes to speak. Just,
Just,
like, oh, sorry. It was my wing in the way again.
Oh man.
And that puts a couple of days, I believe, of travel on foot before you reach Kintargo. Crassius sent somebody ahead to deliver news, and you actually met them about halfway on the road. A contingent was sent to clean up and assess the damage and try to investigate what happened. But it's pretty clear that the Scarlet Triad is not here, not at Cypress Point. They obviously left. There's probably not very many clues left to uncover. Arriving at the gate, though, Sailix, of course, all of you are recognized and allowed in, and anyone you bring along with it. But what do you do immediately upon arrival in the city?
And we're in Contargo, right?
Yeah.
Sailix would, I get, or so first off, he would like, how, like, is Vesperin like still like
No,
Clingy?
she seems fine.
All
like
a few days
like
later?
the shock has worn off.
So yeah, Sailix would, I guess he would call a meeting of the Crimson Ravens.
Yeah, and
He's got business to work through.
same thing. Like Vespa's gonna track down the Tengu.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, the Crimson Ravens is South Kintargo. You have to cross Bleak Bridge. You take the main road through the north gate to Kintargo, pass by the Greens District, where nobility, they've seemed to shut their doors due to the news. When people start getting slaughtered, they get a little bit antsy. No longer are they opening their gates for parties. But as you make your way down, you arrive at the bridge, and the Tengus have been waiting for Vesperin. They seem excited to meet with her again. But Sailix, do you continue on then?
Yep.
You realize you haven't really split from this person in quite a few days. Do you expect to see them again? How do you interact? How do you interact with them as you reach the end of this bridge? These Tengus are asking her to ascend to Theobald's secret office at the top of this busy bridge.
Sailix will just kind of look over his shoulder and be like, and hit in a really, really bad Cockney accent. I can't. I can't.
Oh, come on. It can't be worse than mine.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, my God. Mhm.
I can't. He'll pretty much he'll be like, In 2 days, we set out. So be fucking ready.
So she would look at him back and be like, "Aye, we have so much brooding to do."
Or you fucking git.
Wow. You've made the Tengu nearby quite mad. As you
Give it a square up. Fucking let's do
there-
it.
Now get out of here before you get some new holes in that pretty outfit of yours. And that's how Vespern killed Sailix.
With laughter.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Anne. Go ahead.
jumping in, one of the Tengu with a hood over his face, he leans over to Vesper and starts to whisper, then stops himself. You! When'd you arrive?
He's talking to Sailix.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Someone's been waiting for you.
Is it your mother? Because I have two saddles on either shoulder for her.
Oi! Oi!
This Tengu turns around a little bit, preens himself, just a feather or two, and shakes it off. Meet in the war cage tomorrow.
Gladly. As Sailix continues to walk away, he's like, Vespa, I'm not going to be held liable when I slaughter your people.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. You have not changed. You have
Nope.
not changed a single bit.
She would like look at him, look at her boy, and wink. You're welcome to try, love. And then she'd like lean down and whisper to like the guy, like, don't fucking embarrass it. Just make it look amazing. He's weak in it.
Oh my god. Sailix, by the way, you got a hero point from chat
Oh.
Ooh,
for the
That's good.
accent.
it's perfect. 20 out of 10 there.
Don't
Oh, man.
encourage anybody.
I
So-
love it.
You've got a day in Cantargo before this, Sailix. What do you do?
So he would call together the Crimson Ravens, because, well, obviously business.
Yep.
He would let them, like, when they gather, if they gather.
Now, do you meet in their typical meeting places? Crimson Ravens often meet in a literal sewer.
Yeah, why not?
Good.
It's appropriate.
Yeah, you wouldn't want them to think you considered yourself above it, right? So you conduct this meeting. And they arrive, most of them, it's been short notice. They're sticking with their cropped cuts, it seems. You see a couple of them in the back shaving with straight knives.
Well,
They look
you
at
all
you
looked
as
better
you're-
before.
We heard the news.
Oh, good. Then I won't have to fill you in.
What are we doing? It's this meeting.
This meeting It's an offer. I'm leaving. I don't know if I'll be back. But I'm extending an offer for anybody who wants to come with me. When I got to Kintargo, the Ravens were none but 6 people. I'm going to pat myself on the back and say that I helped grow it to 200. Anybody that wants to come with me, the offer's there. The road's not going to be easy, but it'll be fun.
Make a diplomacy check as you deliver the speech to a few dozen of the Crimson Ravens. They're still filing in.
Well, that's not my worst stat.
They seem receptive. Some still hesitant. Some whispering among themselves, shaking their head.
He'll go on. My hope for all of us going forward is that we'll be able to step forward anew. We can leave the Crimson Ravens behind and become something wholly better. No longer should you remain, should you resort to such violence. You should let your presence speak for you before your fist. If one of you can show up in a courtyard and quiet everybody in it, shouldn't that be enough?
You
But-
expect us to leave
Go ahead.
our city, everything we fought for until now, to abandon that?
And tell me, what are you fighting for?
Liberation, Sailix.
The city's already been liberated. What are you liberating it from? You're harping on a dead oath. The oath has been fulfilled. You're trying to relive the glory days of a bygone era. It's time to put childish dreams aside. You can come with me and accomplish something great, or you could sit here and stew in your misbegotten ideals. I'm not forcing anybody, but we'll be better together than we are separate.
You may make another diplomacy check instead of that one.
All right.
Versus 9. Oh, there it is. They seem more receptive. Perhaps inspired. But they're quiet. They're not going to reveal their hand yet. You can tell they're trying to sleep on it.
I'll be leaving in 2 days. If you show up, you are more than welcome to travel with me. If not, no hard feelings. And I do hope that the future treats you well.
Thank you, Sailix.
Thank you to all of you.
They start to scatter. Heading up. Monica, what do you do when you come into this city?
So Aldonis wants to go to the docks to go and say goodbye to Diedrich and to look at a map without Sailix or Monica. But Monica's gone with him and is just standing at the docks, kind of taking in everything, because it's been 20 years since she's been here. So it's a little nostalgic, and also just a little grounding for her.
Diedrich approaches Aldonis. He's made his way out of his office on the headquarters of the Order of the Albatross by the docks. He walks over like a giant amongst men and removes his stone helmet before addressing the warg.
Sir.
I've heard the news. You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. He smiles. It's just like, I'm healing. I'll learn. Makes being a warg a little harder, but hey, at least I can shapeshift, right?
So what's next?
Well, I am going on a quest, kind of. And it's very much one of my own making, but one I'm being directed to do. So, making a lot of weird choices for myself.
He notices your forehead. What does it look like?
There is a light scar where the eye was, because he cast cure wounds on himself.
Right.
So there's a light scar, but he's not wearing his bandana anymore. And instead, the bandana is actually wrapped around his his missing hand.
Right.
He looks tired, and a little, even though his words aren't coming through very clearly, he knows what he has to do. Is a little more self-confident than he used to be.
Wow.
I have a strange request. Can I take a look at some of the maps in your office? I have to choose my destination, and I'd rather not do it around Sailix or Monica.
Of course. He looks at Monica for a second, but he meets enough people that he doesn't even inquire. He'll take you to his office, unfolding a map before your eyes and pointing to a small dot. That's Cantargo. Tracing his finger to an area maybe only an inch away. That, I believe that's Breach Hill. Now, look at the big picture, Aldonis. And coming at, you realize just the intense scale here. It's a map you don't even comprehend, because maps you've seen before this, they are so much smaller in scope. This map is quite expensive, but it's my gift to you on the condition you follow through with this. I'd like to see, and he's going to pull the quill out of the well and hand it to you. What calls to you, Aldonis? Now, you can make a check here if you would like.
Okay.
But I'm not going to tell you what kind of check to make. Just any check that you think would be nice.
Thanks.
What would Aldonis think about right now?
Aldonis is thinking about what he knows about his own heart, and like what what in his heart he knows is where he belongs. He knows he belongs in the wilds somewhere. He knows that he can be a bridge between the creatures that live in the woods and the people that live in settlements. And he has a strong pull that something like that is where he's supposed to start. And so with that, he's gonna make a survival check.
Perfect.
Because of just trying to think of, okay, where can I go? How would I survive? What would I need to be able to do? So there's that.
Let me know how you do with that roll.
That is a 28.
You pin it. Interesting. That's all the way across the inner sea. Around it, at least. Aldonis, what do you know of Katapesh?
Not a damn thing.
Perfect. He'll roll up the map and produce a case for it from under his desk, sliding it in and popping the lid. Then he'll set it on the desk. If you make it to Katapesh on foot, in one piece, you might be the strongest person I know.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Best of luck to you.
And to you. If fate is kind, we might see each other again.
He's going to look at your forehead and your arm and down at his ruined body covered in this armor that sustains him. He suppresses his response to that and just nods. Does anybody else have anything for tonight?
I mean, I kind of want to catch up with my Tengu and see how they're doing, like, because it's been a little while.
Yeah.
And after that, I do want to do something with Monica. So.
Right.
Because yeah, I mean, basically, you know, like, she's also just kind of like, I thought that the triad was limited to our city. I was very wrong. So, you know, she's kind of doing the just like, I have to go too, but I want to make sure that you guys are going to be set up and okay. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if you leave, your organization it's much more authoritarian than the Crimson Ravens. Crimson Ravens, they don't even have a leader per se. River Talons is a completely different story. One person is at the top of it. So in your absence, who do you think would be a good fit? You don't really know anybody that survived. Everybody died.
Well, because you said that I had a couple people who were competent enough to be lieutenants when we were doing like the next couple of things. So like, can I do interviews over the next 2 days? Like, and then also too, I guess the other question I have is how fast is my, what is like the speed and range of my Falcon? Like, is that a thing where I can, you know, keep in contact over distance, or is it too slow?
You don't know.
Yeah.
The Falcon is peculiar. It won't speak. It's very much like a golem that animates itself. I'll be a playful one. That's a good question, though.
My brain is like, is it like a Game of Thrones raven? Only it doesn't actually need to sleep or stop. So in theory, it should get to places faster, right?
It might. That's if it isn't picked out of the sky by some
That's
hungry
fair.
predator in the middle of the wilderness. Now, I will ask you then, if you could spend the next 2 days, as Theobald would do, sitting at the desk, planning like a
Mhm.
mastermind, if you had a choice at the direction that the organization would go, it's a many faceted question. So we'll just boil it down to what alignment should your organization conform to if it were so simple that they were to choose one?
Chaotic good.
Chaotic good?
Yeah.
All right. No hesitation there.
No.
I mean, I wasn't expecting like lawful good.
No.
Chaotic good. That's
Yeah.
not what it was at the
That's-
beginning.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I feel like after what she's seen and the just what it's cost and everything, she is like sort of in this space of like the world is bigger than I thought it was, and there are some bad people that really need to go, but like, I want it's very much that like we, like they started off as just sort of like that lip service to social justice, and kind of like balancing stealing from the rich and giving to the poor and stuff like that. But
Right.
she's kind of just like, look, we also maintain that, stability here, and we have people who depend on us and people who see us for hope. And that's what this city fucking needs, is hope again. So like,
Yeah.
like if you really want to fuck with those motherfuckers who stole everything from us, then prove to them that they can't keep us down. Because you know what? We're going to shrug it off. We're going to be better. We're going to be more powerful. And we're going to be doing all the things they hate, like having a good time and, being generous and shit.
So let's do a check.
Okay. What
Diplomacy would be
Oh.
convincing these people
you want?
to change.
Okay.
And they need to adopt a different lifestyle. It's not about just robbing everybody they see from the north side of the city. It's about a set of standards. 32?
Mhm.
All right.
It's like,
Intriguing. Monica, what do you do tonight?
I want to take a look around the city for signs of the Lacoon effects and just kind of observe and see what's going on with them.
Well, you know where they used to operate.
Hmm.
It was in secret. A little school on the north side of the city. It's easy to locate,
Hmm.
but once you've located it, what do you do?
I want to take a look and see if they're anything like mild chapter or if they are different in a better way. So just kind of discreetly shopping near there and listening, doing my old, something very old, but like slipping into a well-worn set of shoes where you listen and watch and learn, but be discreet about it.
Yeah, well, people around town, they only refer to it as Lady Dokur's School for Girls.
Mhm.
It's named after the late Milard Dokur. But aside from that, you don't know anything about the city, about this school that you didn't already know.
Okay.
You could sneak in if you'd like. It's nighttime and it's a school, so theoretically they'd all just be asleep. But You know the rumors. It's not. It's far more than just a school. They train at night.
It's tempting. It's tempting. Oh, yeah. I'm going to tempt fate. I'm going to go looking.
I'm gonna need a stealth check.
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh, God. I don't like that look.
Is it through a window?
Yeah. Obviously.
All right. What are you doing in here?
Oh,
Turn. It's a bedroom. Woman is awake.
testing some old skills and seeing how things are going. I mean, no harm.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a deception check.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. She stares at you.
Mm.
She moves and pulls a dagger from underneath her pillow, but she listens. In through the window, the middle of the night.
Well, that's when you all are supposed to be training, aren't you?
We're students. We learn during the day and sleep at night. Now, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
Curiosity. There's been a lot of trouble with other groups that deal in secrets. And, well, while there's been a significant blow to the biggest group, who shall be unnamed because no one wants to invoke them, I suppose that this school and the schools like it have a little bit of a soft place in my heart.
Of course they would. Songbird, and with a snap of her fingers, she transforms, no longer a tiefling. An elven woman with red hair, one you recognize
Oh, God damn it. What are
from long
you doing
ago.
here?
You stole my trick.
Mm.
Songbird, you faked your death.
I learned from the best.
Right.
I did technically die. It's fine.
All the more convincing. So why are you really here?
All the reasons I just stated. Malari, come on.
Yeah, you see, something doesn't add up. There's a meaning. Why are you in this city?
My family's here. Well, my adopted family. We won't be for long. Don't worry. I'll be out of your hair soon.
Right. Well, I heard about what happened with the Scarlet Triad.
Ah, so you do invoke their name now. That makes it easier.
You shouldn't be afraid of them. You should be afraid of the Lacuna effects. She says with a smile.
You mean others should be afraid of us?
Us, huh? You looking for work again?
I find myself slightly aimless at the moment.
We could give you aim. I've got targets all over the map. I just don't have talent these days.
Well, I have experience.
Why us? Why not the Bellflower Network?
they're all about halfling this and halfling that. Ugh.
The audacity.
Well, it's so exclusive. I hate it.
You should come back tomorrow night. We can discuss jobs.
I'll have a better idea of where I'm heading, so you can give me jobs on the way. I'm glad you made it out, and seemingly in one piece. You're probably the only person worth anything from that chapter.
Perhaps. Now I'm going to go to sleep.
I'll show myself out, and I slip out the window, close it, let her lock it.
The next day, with the right instructions, Sailix, you arrive at the war cage. It's owned and operated by members of the River Talons. So you probably have some more influence there. It's not bad blood like it used to be. But still, no, you have no idea who this challenger is. Word around town, I mean, nobody does. Do you do anything before you arrive?
Sharpens his sword.
Mm.
Oh, and grabs another one because he lost the other one.
Excellent. Aldonis, were you staying with Sailix at Menador Manor?
Yeah. I was like, I have something to, and he's just like sharpening my sword. Leave me alone. Okay. So they did not have a heart to heart. But yeah, he did stay at the manor, and he would go and show support.
It's not that they didn't have a heart to heart. It's Sailix wasn't there all night.
Oh, okay. Then never mind then.
He came in like probably like a few hours, or probably an hour before dawn, and like came in through the way Vespin usually comes in, through the top window, and just slept for like an hour or two, and then got back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aldonis and Monica would both have stayed at the manor, and Monica would probably have fallen asleep next to Reika's statue.
Aww.
She would have at least had something on the stove for Sailix when he woke up.
Sailix.
Yes.
When you arrive at the war cage, do you bring Crimson Ravens with you?
I mean, if they show up, they show up. He pretty much called for the dissolution of them, so they might not be too happy.
Yeah, it sounds like they're talking about you, generating buzz, but you're kind of kept out of the loop. That's usually how it works when you shake things up a bit. Poker faces all around, but some of them are there when you arrive. And at the pit, as you enter, there are shops all about the war cage, but nobody's really here for that. Not on a day like this. You reach the railing in that sandy pit below, bloodstains all about. And a woman, half orc, half human, stands at the center looking up at you. Describe your character.
Yeah, so as you said, she is a half orc, a little bit slighter than most orcs. Her hands, fingers are a little bit longer. It looks like she could probably climb pretty fast. Braided hair, sort of a light green skin, but she looks young, not as battle worn as most. But she does have scars upon her face, kind of looking like lash marks. And that she just looks angry.
Do I know you?
Probably not.
All right. I've had worse challenges. What is
You're
it?
gonna get down here.
He'll just kind of like sink into the ground and then walk out of a shadow behind her. Are you going to pay attention to your surroundings? Points off.
You notice there's a circle of chalk in the middle here. It looks like a sport of some sort. Vesperin, Aldonis, Monica, any of you attending this?
Hell yeah.
Westburn would. Yeah.
All right.
And she would probably be running the side hustle of taking bets.
Now,
Mhm.
you would know then
Mhm.
that you speak Dwarven. The symbols written in chalk aside along the circle, they don't spell anything that makes sense to you, which means it's likely written in Orcish using the Dwarven alphabet, but it's some sort of wrestling match. You've been running the bets as such. Um, that said, the build on this orc, she's prompting people to bet against Sailix. I don't know if you'd notice that from the pit. You're quite distracted, but what do you make of this arrangement? She doesn't have weapons on her.
Yeah.
They're to the side.
Huh. So I feel like Vesperin would be fine with encouraging people to bet against Sailix so she herself can bet for him and increase the odds. Listen.
Bad idea. It's a bad idea.
It'll be great. I'll take you somewhere nice. It's fine.
90% chance I'm going to get my ass kicked.
No.
So-
That's cool.
This woman's not
Yeah.
armed, but why don't you describe your just talk to Salix. Why are you here?
Heard you are disbanding the Crimson Ravens.
Oh, I apologize. You must have heard it incorrectly. The dissolution of the Crimson Ravens is not up to one person. I just merely spoke the idea into existence, and if they decide to take advice, then that's what'll happen.
So you're saying that they don't follow you and you have no illusions that you're some sort of leader to them?
Exactly.
Kind of seems like you've made yourself out to be one.
Well, I mean, in war, usually the people you follow are the assholes who come out there and scream the loudest.
So you're that asshole.
I mean, the glove fits pretty often, so
Seems you like to surround yourself with that type of people.
oh, let me stop you right there. Anybody that you might have qualms with that is associated with me are their own people. They flock to me because, what comes out of an asshole?
See, so of course you are not taking responsibility for anything.
I very rarely take the responsibility of others onto my own yoke.
And yet you put yourself up as some sort of leader.
Oh,
You
okay.
take no responsibility for anyone.
Whoa, let me pump your brakes there for you. Fine. I'm responsible. Their failures are mine. Their successes are their own. Perfect leader, right here. What do you want?
Let's have a match. I brought you here for a challenge. That's what I want.
Right, I'm a very
Or are
busy
you
man.
afraid? Excuses are all that come out of your mouth.
Ooh. You hear the oohs and ahs of the crowd. Sailix, you also notice that a lot of the Crimson Ravens are here to watch this. And they've been thinking about what you told them. Some of these people you didn't even get a chance to speak to. They're waiting. They want to watch how you do.
Right.
You see them,
Well,
Sailix?
it seems that you know my name, ma'am. But I don't know anything of you other than you're a half orc. What is your name?
Very astute.
Just make perception checks at this time if you want to observe this beautiful creature. It's about to wreck Salix's shit. Just kidding.
Everyone or just him?
Oh, you can. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm fucking super curious.
I will state that Aldonis preps Vital Beacon
Yeah.
Just in case.
just in case. And yeah, Monica's definitely looking at this beautiful orcish creature.
Make a perception check for Monica, actually. Now, I could tell you that this person has scars upon her face. I could tell you that her human blood seems Ulfin to you, given the pale tone of the green, but that's not what catches your eye. Across the pit, on the railing, is a halfling you didn't expect to see. Staring down at the pit. He hasn't noticed you. It's Calmont.
I can't kill anybody here. Oh, damn it. I'm gonna send him a message. Because I have that.
Sailix, you are not familiar with this sport. It seems probably orcish, given the context.
Right.
She's not armed, though. How do you respond?
Sailix stands where he is. I appreciate the offer, the challenge. But you see, and he'll lower his voice to where only she should be able to hear him. It's not in quite a whisper, but he's not projecting for the crowd anymore. So you see, you put me in quite the predicament. I took an oath of non-violence yesterday.
Who would do that?
Someone trying to be a good leader. As a step back, if there is crimes that have been committed upon you or your people, then please do bring them to my knowledge, and we can discuss them further. But your match I will decline. I have things to do.
The crowd is shocked, gasps.
Yeah, she'll take a step back in a loud voice, like looking around at the crowd. Like, looks like he's too afraid to fight.
That is true. I am Sailix Lavendil, too afraid to fight.
They seem skeptical of you. Like they know you're not an imposter, but their expression betrays that. They don't recognize this Salix. Your comrades up in the railings.
Maybe we should make this more interesting, Sailix.
Yes, beautiful orcish woman that I have never met before in my life. How would you like to make this more interesting?
I think it's about time the Crimson Ravens actually had a leader.
Right. So, Do you hear that, boys and ladies? She wants to fight me to become the leader of the Crimson Ravens. Do we have leaders? He says to the Crimson Ravens in the crowd.
One calls out. A larger man. Pale skin and a wide nose. Never have. Never will.
And what do we do with the ones that want to become the leader?
We teach him a lesson, Sailix.
You see, ma'am, there's your answer. If you want to become the Crimson Raven, the leader, well, let me get you a white cloak. And when you stain it completely red, then, and only then, can you step up to try and fight each and every one of them people that have put their lives on the line to curtail corruption in this city. But I am not their leader, and I'm not going to fight you for a spot that I don't want. I simply want to stand next to my brothers in arms and leave this city a better place than when I walked into it.
But we can't help but wonder, Sailix, he continues from above, if you've grown weak.
A weak man would fight when he doesn't have to, Monica says. A strong man knows when to pick his battles.
Sounds like halfling talk to me.
They
No.
laugh.
But I'll fight her if she wants one.
Losing faith. Sailix came here to see sport. And you're growing soft.
Fuck my life.
Looks like you have some aggression to burn off.
You have no idea the depths of rage that I keep at bay every second I talk to you right now.
Why do you keep it at bay? Just let it
Because
out.
The last time I let it out, I burnt a village to the ground.
Well, you don't look like someone that could burn anything to the ground. Just
All right.
a weak, feathered, handsy ass little man.
I need you to make a will save on that one. You start to feel your blood boil. Good. You have control of this, actually.
So as she starts like rambling off these insults at him, Sailix's eyes dart up to Vesprin in the crowd.
Yeah.
And he's just like shaking his head. He's like,
So I feel like, I mean, can he like read lips or at least, because I don't think he's close enough where she can like say something. But like she'd basically like give him that look of like, I'll stop it if it gets too far.
You know that nod.
Mhm.
Vesprin practically owns this place.
Oh yeah.
Sailix
And
will...
she'd even make a point of like getting closer from where she is to like, you know, just casually watch it.
I'm going to let you in on a little bias here, though.
Mhm.
Before you got yourself into the adventuring business, the amount of money that you'd see exchange hands tonight would make you very excited.
Oh yeah.
It'd be about a year's salary for you once upon
Oh,
a
yeah.
time. Now, if Sailix walks out of this pit, you lose a lot of money.
Oh yeah. That's why she's saying, you know, I'll stop it if it gets too far. But you
Yeah.
should do it.
Great. It's a great support system my
Yeah,
character's put in place here.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Where
don't
is-
worry about
can-
it. It'll be
can-
fine. You gotta defend your honor. Like, look
Can I
at
spend
it.
both my hero points to summon Rune here? Because at least somebody will be in the corner.
You could.
Monica's in your corner.
Right?
Damn.
I'm
She's
supporting you.
supporting your nonviolence
That's true.
and offering to fight in your stead.
Well, no, because that just makes him
You
look
could try
like
it.
way weaker.
Sailix, you have a lot to juggle right now.
Mhm.
There's that inner peace that is being contested by just about everybody you know. And then there's this strange new adversary of yours just staring at you. Like she's gotten under your skin. You don't even know her. What do you do?
If you want to fight somebody,
Not somebody.
mm,
Sailix.
right, well, and he'll project his voice louder. You see, I've made my name in this pit for 2 years now. I've fought countless battles to get to the position I'm at. And you just come in and go straight for the top? No, ma'am. You start from the ground.
Well, maybe I'm just a little bit more efficient than you.
Maybe. But everybody starts at the beginning.
See, once again, you're just trying to weasel your way out of a match.
Sailix starts walking away. He's like, you can keep trying to goad me. But, you're too pretty for me to want to mar that little face of yours.
Well, I appreciate that, but guess you better watch your back because I tried doing this the normal way.
I'm here whenever you're ready.
Oh, and better keep the people around you close as well.
It's like I said, what comes out of an asshole as he sinks into the shadows?
You reappear on the railing up above.
Yeah, like he'll make sure I would make a point to come out like behind the Crimson Ravens.
Yeah,
He just
They
called
look
us
at you.
shit.
with skepticism, concern. They're exchanging money with the Vesperin. Vesperin,
Oh.
you lost a lot of coin in a very short amount of time.
Ugh.
You can make a deception check
Mhm.
to try not to convey what you just tried to pull off here.
Yeah. So,
Versus
you know,
Salix's perception DC. Yeah, he hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
What do you say to him?
I think you just made what seems to be a lot of enemies.
Well, they can all get in line because I have a lot of enemies already. So, what's a few more?
But why not fire? I mean, the worst that happens is you get knocked out and then we wake you up and
Because I'm
drink
trying to turn over a new leaf.
You look down at the pit. A few of the Crimson Ravens have already moved down to speak with her. Just asking inquisitively about why she's here.
But I don't understand. Like, if both targets is willing, like, it's not about, you know.
I'm
Yeah.
not willing.
Yeah,
Vespa.
but why?
Because I'm trying not to actively seek out violence.
But you didn't seek it out. She did. She was right there, just like, oi, punch me in the face. Just asking for it, like practically throwing herself at you.
And here she knows everything about me, and I know nothing about her.
The best way you get to know someone is when you fight them.
Or sleep with them. Monica comes walking up behind them.
That one's a bit on the nose, eh?
What? Did you two?
If you would like, you can go fight her, Vesp. But I will not.
I mean, I don't. She seems content to take your organization. So.
I don't have an organization. Jesus Christ. I told the Crimson Ravens yesterday that I planned on leaving and that I suggested they dissolve the Crimson Ravens entirely. If she wants to step into that leader role and take them over, by all means, I don't care.
You don't feel the foggiest bit of responsibility for the people that you set up, and you put them on this path, yeah?
I gave them proper training. I gave them gear. I gave them a direction. That's what I did. I gave them renewed purpose. And if they want to take that and put that faith in somebody else that can properly direct that anger, then by all means, she can have that. I'm not fighting a battle because I don't want the prize. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just, I don't know. I mean, I never asked to be leader of the Tengu yet, but, like, here I am. I owe them a debt. I'm getting them set up. You don't just abandon them that's been there for you. At least, I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, outsider's perspective, maybe?
By all means.
I mean, as they all said, there's no leader of the Crimson Ravens. He's told them what he's going to do, and he's prepared them for whatever they want to do. So they don't seem to be his responsibility, even though he took on that responsibility for a long time, for two whole years. He didn't have to. He just did it because it was right. And now he's doing what's right for him. Don't you think that's been earned?
I mean, I feel like those words coming out of your mouth specifically are a bit weird given the circumstances of how you came to be here.
True, but I've also known him a heck of a lot longer than you. And this is a thing he does. He picks up things that aren't his responsibility. He makes it better. And then when it's self-sustaining, he lets it do its own thing.
I feel like Vesperin would just, like, look at Sailix after that and just be like,
The man leaning on the rail behind Modica is going to chime in after her. No, she's right. These kids, they need you. He's looking down at the pit. Half a dozen of them are talking to this orc. These kids, they need that fury, but they need to be level. And Sailix, you weren't our leader. We don't have leaders, but you were our lance. You went in first, and we followed. But they don't trust you to facilitate that anymore. They say it with her.
Then hopefully she's a worthy lance.
all I'm saying is, like, I want to see it be a thing you're doing on your terms, not because you're trying to run. Does that make sense?
Sailix will grab Vesperin's hand. Like, I've told you my plans before we got here. Before I knew this woman existed. No one's running anywhere. I have a plan. I'm sticking to it. Picking up dead weight on the way to accomplishing my said plan is not the goal. The less messy I leave things when I leave this city, the better. If she wants to step into the void of power that is left for the Crimson Ravens and take them over and direct them, And so be it. I told them my piece. I can't do anything else. It's kind of like if, when you leave with me tomorrow, the leader that you leave in place leads the River Talons down a totally different path than what you set forth. How will you feel?
I am doing my best to ensure that the person I leave behind is one that I can trust with Theobald's legacy.
Right.
I am ensuring that I know them to the best that I can because, again, I owe him that. I fought with them, I bled with them, and that means something to me. So, while things have changed for me as far as what I'm looking to do and the scope of it, the core of who I am has not changed. And that is something that's important to me.
I understand that. But at the end of the day, when we leave here tomorrow, whatever we come back to, and whatever time we come back to it, it's no longer your problem. When we leave, we're not leaving as the previous heads of the River Talons and Crimson Ravens. We're leaving as Sailix and Vesperin. And what we do after we leave those gates, that's what matters. Because we've decided to leave this behind. Are you with me on this one?
You know I am.
All right then. Monica, go fight the woman.
If she'll let me. But hey, you were having a little rat at your house.
Who?
He was Calmont.
Oh, right, Calmont. What did he do?
Yeah. Oh well, he was here. I gave him the look. Hey, we need to talk, and he ran, per usual. So I was thinking maybe
Don't kill him.
Oh, I don't want to kill him yet. But I do have questions. He said he knew things and he could only tell me, and I was stuck in the amulet, and I would like to hear what he has to say.
Right.
I can ask Aldonis if he'll go track him, but he was ready to heal people, and I think he's kind of chilling out.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly not fighting today, but...
Oh, I don't want to fight anybody. Well, I don't want to fight anybody who doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, if you could find Calmont, go for it.
Okay. But first I'm going to go talk to the pretty orc lady. Bye!
Have fun.
And I'll send Aldonis to go chase him down.
Pretty orc lady is gonna climb up the wall to where Sailix is.
this is great. He's just watching.
I feel like while like between like the span of like
This whole
Monica
conversation.
rushing away and the orc lady coming up, like Vesperin's just gonna look at Sailix and be like, "You just got away with women, don't you?"
Trust me, it's a gift that I never asked for.
With pure grace, she climbs. It's smooth stone, but she manages it with ease, and suddenly she's before you, to the amazement of the Crimson Ravens below that have to take the stairs around. Everybody's watching. You have an audience again, but a different kind. They want to know how you react to this woman. Go ahead.
Right.
Had time to think?
The answer's still the
Have you
same,
thought
love.
anything?
I'm not fighting you.
Well, that's okay, because I've changed my mind.
Oh?
Yes. I heard you're getting on a ship tomorrow.
Hmm. I'm getting on a ship in a little while. Tomorrow, I'm heading out on horseback to go to a little garbage town of a city called Breach Hill.
Well, I'm going with you.
Why? Wait, scratch
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Let's start off with, what's your fucking name?
Aghi.
Okay, Aki. I'm Sailix. Nice to meet you. Now that we have the pleasantries out of the way, why?
Oh, I feel like it. Corruption. You seem to go for it, and I would like to assist. How about that?
Listen, Aki, I'm gonna be really forward with you right now. Um,
Finally.
People who follow me tend to die in droves. And when I say
Confirm it. I
droves,
died last week.
this one
So
literally died 2 days ago.
let's
Monica,
change the word
dead
follow
the day
then.
before.
Yeah, I got better.
My best friend, a wizard, still fucking dead. I don't know. I murdered my fiance less than a week ago. Is this what you want to hear? Because I'm like a hair's breadth from a mental fucking breakdown, and I will burn this pit to the ground if you push me
Sailix.
a little much further.
Take the burning outside, okay?
Monica will lean over to Vesper and be like, is she stalking him?
Seems like it. So hang on a minute. Here's the thing, like, you feel like changing your hair. You don't feel like stalking a man halfway across the world. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Don't you stalk your prey?
Well,
So he's prey now. Okay, we're getting somewhere. At least we got a better motive. This
Okay,
seems a bit more legitimate.
why
You guys just
Sailix?
talk a lot.
Yes, we do, because we've fought for no reason before, and that didn't end well for us. So,
Well, then fight better.
well, how about you explain why you really want to fight Sailix? Because clearly it's not for the Crimson Ravens, even though you use that as an excuse.
Not an excuse. I think Salix has become selfish, and selfishness leads to corruption.
Is this for asthma again? This is weird.
Salix is gonna
Sorry.
Salix is gonna lean down. I have no idea.
I don't like this at all. But I also don't like the fact that you called our home a backwater.
Oh, it's not my home.
Your brother's there.
Oh,
Oh.
Will's choices are his own.
All right, whatever.
Anyway.
This enigma before you, Sailix, she reminds you of yourself. The only thing you know about her is that she seems upset about corruption and ready to fight the biggest person in the room, which was you before she walked in. And now you have to make a decision. Do you trust them? Do you dismiss them? You don't know who the Crimson Ravens are watching as they stare in your direction. Are they flocking to her or you?
Are you the same Sailix that I heard beat a man to death with a hammer?
It's my bare hands, actually. I hit him in the chest once, knocked the wind out of him. As he fell to the ground, I set the hammer on his stomach, to make it a little bit more difficult for him to get up. And then I fell over top of his face with both hands. I broke all 5 fingers on one hand because I forgot to stop punching once he stopped breathing.
Happens. See, again, it just seems like you do things in the least efficient way possible.
Right.
It's not killing a man with a hammer, filling his skull cave in. You still get that feeling from the hilt of the hammer, but then you break your fingers.
Right, but you see, the thing that you're forgetting, love, the main difference between you and I is I have hundreds upon hundreds of years to live, so I can do things slowly and enjoy life and the little moments that pass by, like when you get to watch the light leave somebody's eyes as you have both hands around their throat. That's an enjoyable moment.
Yeah, so I guess you live hundreds of years because you only fight the weak ones.
Yeah, sure, that too.
Okay. I had told myself I was done trying to fight, but you're making it very difficult. And next time you call me love, I will punch you. So please stop.
Ooh, I like her.
Fine. Are we done here?
For now. But I think I'll see you again soon.
Apparently you're tagging along, so...
That's not all ominous.
Oh. You see, it sounds like, since as you say, people keep dying in droves around you, that you could use someone with a little bit more skill. Sorry. She'll look over at Vespa and the Monica.
By all means. Vespa, do you need to be here anymore?
Hmm?
Do you need to be here anymore?
I mean, I do kind of fucking run this place, so
Yeah,
if anybody needs to be here, it's probably me.
that's unfortunate. Well, I'm leaving.
You want company?
As he's walking away, he's like, no, you fucking run this place.
Hmm.
Ooh. And with that, you leave, huh?
Yep.
Aldonis
Mm-hmm.
left to pursue Calmont, who
Yep.
fled when he saw Modica. Following a couple of clues left behind, he's a slippery one, but you find he's on the road, headed east inland. Apparently, he left in a rush. At least that's what the stable hand said. He owns a pony, a prized one. From the sound of it, Aldonis, do you follow him, or do you let him get away?
No, I don't let him get away. I follow on a horse, which is weird because I haven't had to ride one before.
Theoretically, how far would Aldonis chase that? How long does he go before he realizes this is kind of a trip?
He would go until it starts to be sundown, and then he would head home. So probably like 2 or 3 hours.
Right. You can make a survival check if you'd like.
Okay.
It's quite far. Now,
Oof.
in the morning, it's quite clear what Sailix intends to do. He's to leave. He's headed to Breach Hill.
Mhm.
Who joins him? You know where to meet him.
After I check in with the Lacuna effects for targets, I will join him.
Aki's waiting there in the morning.
The Lacuna effects, they're keeping up appearances. Right now, it's a school for girls.
Oh, I'll say I was told I would have a missive from the tiefling.
The receptionist opens her desk. There's no such missive.
Songbird sends her regards.
She'll write on a ledger and shut it.
All right, and I will head out. Slightly disappointed, but oh well.
Feel you're being stared at as you leave. But as you arrive, these stables, Vesperin, are you there as well?
I'm sorry. Where?
So in the morning,
Mhm.
Sailix made it clear where he's going to depart from as he heads to Breach Hill,
Yeah.
which is at least several weeks of travel, even on horseback. Do you meet him at the stables?
I meet him exactly where he said to meet, showing up in the most dramatically extra as fuck way possible. But I would also say that let's see. The night before, she would have left something in his room, probably like, I don't know, what's something like hilariously petty. um, let's say like a half-eaten piece of cake or something like that. Just like, and it's one of those things where it's like perfectly put in the center of the bed, just like everything is undisturbed, and like, you know, maybe there's like some rose petals artfully decorated around it or something like that.
Saucy.
I hate
And-
it so much.
Yeah, and it says, you know, something to the effect of like there's like a little note with this elegant cursive font or script that just artfully says, the cake that you did not have last night. Something like that.
Ooh.
Or, you know, no, sorry, the sweet.
That's called persistent burn damage in Pathfinder
Right.
2nd edition.
So as
but yeah, but again, she would just dramatically appear.
as Vesperin dramatically appears, Sailix is eating said cake, just
Excellent. It's real good, ain't it?
and he's gonna look at him like it's like you made this with sand. Throw it to the side.
I know how you like it, love.
Sailix, 4 dozen Crimson Ravens are here, many of them with horses. You expect with a large group, you still travel limited to the speed of somebody walking. So it doesn't weigh you down that some people would be on foot, but they're huddled in a way around Aghi, the newcomer. They look to you as you arrive.
Is Sailix?
Yeah, Sailix will arrive last,
Okay. Got confused.
coming out of the city to the stables.
So, are you guys coming along, or are you here for Miss Aghi over here. Or Mrs., I'm sorry, I don't mean to presume.
We don't have leaders. She's one of
Right.
us.
But what I'm saying is when we leave that door, we're no longer Crimson Ravens. We're not in Cantargo anymore. When you leave this gate, you leave this city behind. You are with me.
Becoming your leader.
Woman, would you please be quiet? If you want to stay here, stay here. I'm asking my friends that I have fought and shed blood with if they would accompany me through this gate onto the next trials of my life.
Listen, the ravens are a bit thick. You know, don't take it personally. You gotta spell it out for them.
With respect, Sailix, an armored man, bald like the rest of them, hops off his horse. We're ready. We're packed. We've been packed since before dawn. One would assume we're here for you. We've made the decision, and we love Cantargo, but we're leaving it behind. You're not our leader, and she's not our leader, but damn if we don't see something in her that we saw in you. So we're here for you.
Great. That's all I care about. Now let's get the fuck out of here.
And then you hear two of the Crimson Ravens whispering to each other, "Where the fuck is Breach Hill?" pulling out a map.
I feel like that's like Vesper, and they're like, I have no idea. I've been just nodding along. It sounded important.
Monica,
Yeah.
what about you as you arrive?
Mm-hmm. I've been
You see
keeping a burn tally of Sailix versus Vesprin versus Aghi since yesterday. It's been great. But yeah, I arrive. I get on a pony, and okay, well, we're going home. I brought spices and stuff. Well, I'm going home.
Right. Spices and stuff.
Are you not even going to look at me and talk to me? Just in general?
Me.
Not talking to you, dear.
Sailix kind of pets
The fuck.
Sailix kind of pets the horse's head, and he's like, "No," and he'll just kind of gallop forward.
All right, then.
Why are we going to Breach Hill?
Well, I assumed to drop me off before he goes and does whatever he's gonna do. Because we're not talking, apparently, even though I've been with him for 2 years and he hasn't realized it. So, whatever. Men.
How would he not realize it?
It's a long story. I'd be happy to regale you if you like storytelling. If you don't, then, well, I don't even tell stories that well. We used to have a friend who did. Anyway, it's a long story.
Long story.
But it's a long journey. So if you feel like hearing it, just poke me.
The weeks that pass is
Oh,
ample time for
So-
storytelling.
while you're doing that,
But doing the storytelling?
no, in the weeks that passed.
Yeah.
So in the traveling, Sailix would keep everybody, like try to keep it like sparring and everything and training in downtime, like going, and he would ask, I guess a few times, if Aghi wanted to spar that way to get her point across.
Mm.
is all over that.
One night, then, a couple weeks into travel, on the side of the road, you set camp. 4 dozen crimson ravens, plus you lot, and a couple of pets brought along to boot. You've been invited. Do you accept? Aghi.
Yes. She like
This, I mean,
scrambles up, like super excited.
sparring, it's practice, but it's thinly veiled. It's quite clear what's happening here. They wanted to see a matchup between Sailix and Aghi of any type. So you've caught people's attention. She prepares sparring, Sailix. Does that mean with weapons? Because you've noticed she carries an axe in either hand. It's orcish make. Astounding quality, much like your blades.
No, he'll put his blades to the side. Like, if we're gonna do this, we can punch it out of each other. He's like, Aldana's come with us, or did he leave? Because I'm be mad if I missed that scene.
So he's been trying to find the right moment to tell you that he's leaving, and he hasn't, but he figures we're going the same way for a little while.
Right, I got you.
But yeah, that's coming up. If you don't pay attention to him,
as long as so Sailix has done his like daily routine with him so far, like says good morning and good night and things like that. But as long as he's still here right now, then like we'll worry about it later. I was like, yeah, no, we'll just beat each other to death, and my kid over there will bring whoever loses back.
All right. Well, the weapons have been set aside. Sailix, are you wearing armor or not? This woman wears a light hide, but doesn't even wears clothes to travel.
I mean, yeah, it's because Sailix's thinking of it is you fight, like you spar how you would actually fight. So if he's in full armor, that's most likely how he'll be caught aware when he doesn't have a weapon. So unless she asks him to take it off, then he might think about it.
You're in the circle. It's just dirt beside the road where you're camping. People watch you before bed. For initiative, what do you roll? You could attempt deception if you're trying to bluff and fake them out a little bit. Or you could play it honorably. Stick with a regular roll.
Let's see. What do I got? I mean, I'll just stick with the usual. The regular.
All right. You do have a hero point, but you did get a 2 on that initiative.
I mean, I do have 2 hero points, so I'll use one. Why not?
Shout out.
All right. Shout out, Mr. Smooth. Whatever. It's better than a 2.
Fighting technique. This person, she must have trained in martial arts. But describe what you try to do here to gain the upper hand in this fight, Sam.
Yeah, so she kind of looks around at the terrain first just to see if it's all flat, if there's like soft ground or anything in the circle that they've kind of created.
Yeah.
But she's not looking as much to fake him out or to deceive him in any way. She's very much just head on, brute force, let's just kind of go at it. Would definitely, like, once it's go, would just go swinging.
Vesperin, you want to call the start?
I feel like she would dramatically have like some sort of, let me think. For Sailix, she would have like a handful of feathers and just be like, all right, I want a good fight. I want a clean fight. You know, no fucking dirty bullshit, okay? Are we ready? Ready? And then, as they fall through the air.
Before the feathers could even begin to fall upon the initiation, she darts through the air. She did exceptionally well on her athletics check. A 42 versus your reflex DC of 29, and the critical success knocks you on your back immediately, Sailix.
All right.
Well done!
That is the first round.
Oh, we're like. I thought we were sparring, like actually gonna fucking fight each other. We're just gonna try to push each other over.
Yeah.
All right.
If you wanted to, the way this wrestling works, any challenge, any competition in orc culture can turn into a fight if you just start throwing fists. If you're losing a game of chess, you can punch the guy, and if you win, you won the game of chess. So now that you're down, you could swallow your pride and go for another round, play it fairly, or you can just start wailing on her. It's up to you.
He'll stand back up and go for another round. I'm like,
Yeah, because you could tell she might even be trying to invoke that in you. Trying to turn this into a fist fight.
That's exactly what she's trying to do. She is trying to egg Sailix on and like get that rage that she's heard about.
It's a great thing that he didn't start because he didn't know the rules. He would have came out swinging.
Sailix, you know the rules now, and you have initiative. What do you do?
I guess I'm gonna go for brutal shove. Like he'll just kind of like use his speed as advantage.
Perfect.
So what roll would that be?
So that should be an athletics check.
All right.
Versus 26. That is also a critical success.
So can I say in retaliation, like Sailix, like he darts in, and as he does, he kind of like slides his one leg out and puts his shoulder into her stomach, lifting her up and out of the circle.
So lifted fully out. Yep. With the intention of landing, or with just picking her
just
up?
with the intention of landing, like or to push her out, like on like. Because as he's garnering the rules, you have to be in the circle. If you get pushed out, you lose. If you fall on your back in the circle or out, you lose.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're sumoing this.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he's guessing.
By the way that they're marking it, yeah, you're both at 2 points for what's happened. According to whoever's keeping track. Next round. Vesperin, how many points to win?
5.
You're one of the few people here that know Dwarven or Orcish, so you might as well be keeping the score here. 5 points to win. Okay, so now you're both back up. I'm going to roll initiative again.
Yeah, Aghi will just kind of like wipe her mouth and look at Sailix. Like, oh, see? Doesn't that
Stepping
feel
back
good?
into the circle. Vesperin, on your call.
Mhm.
Sailix, you go first.
All right. He's gonna dart in again and try for the same thing, but this time, we'll see if it works, and then if it does, I'll describe it.
37 is a success. Not critical, but a success.
All right. So instead of just like him like pushing her out, he just darts in and does a turn move and kicks her in the back of the knees with a little shove to put her on her back. And then he'll hold his hand out to help her up.
You take that hand. Everybody's watching at this point.
Oh no. Can she attempt to kick his legs out from underneath him?
Yes.
She's pissed now
Yep.
that he would offer that.
All right.
So that is an athletics check versus their reflex DC, just as before. So a critical success on an attempt to trip does deal bludgeoning damage. The trip is about as effective as possibly could be. Sailix, the wind is knocked out of you as you're sent to the ground. Should you reciprocate this violence, the score suddenly means nothing, save for whoever's standing, if you wish to turn this into a brawl. She seems to be trying to get under your skin.
She will also hold her hand out to him to help him up now.
He'll smile and take it.
Ooh. And you don't strike her, huh?
So
Nope.
So you
Sailix,
mean I could hit you as much as I want and you are not going to retaliate? Sailix?
Is that what you're after? Do you want me to lose my shit? Because I can guarantee you, no one's gonna like the outcome. I won't, you won't, the boys won't.
Why can't you just be true to yourself?
I'm being true to myself right now. I'm
Are you?
doing the sparring match with you. Matches have rules for a reason.
Yeah, to break them. But you're right. I'll try and respect your very strange oath of whatever you're trying to do. But is there how many points to look over at Vespa?
Salix
is-
is at 3 points. Aghi's at 2.
Okay. Salix is leading by 1 love.
Standing at either end of the circle. Yet
Yeah.
again, I'm going to roll initiative. You each have a hero point to spend.
Ian, Vesperin is quietly running the books back and forth again also.
Again?
This-
Oh my god! Just with a glance, like
Yeah, you know.
like how
just
much?
like,
Sign language.
yeah.
How much are you betting?
Yeah, just-
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, nothing. Bye.
Salix, you barely win initiative here. It's neck and neck, but you go first on this check.
Right.
DC's 29, reflex save. If you're trying to knock them over, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, he's just gonna another athletics check. Why not? Oof.
So a critical failure on a trip attempt knocks the tripper prone.
Yeah, I'm gonna hero point that, by the way.
That's fair.
Dang it.
Otherwise, it would be a tie.
Oh, fuck my life.
27 is a failure, but not a critical failure.
Okay.
You're both still standing, locked in. Aghi, what do you do? Regular? Are you going to attack? Or are you just going to do a regular athletics? Try to trip him?
Regular athletics at this point.
All right.
You can hit
The DC is 29. It's a success. Sailix falls. It's a tie. Suddenly, the betting starts to shift. Do you both stand for the next round?
Yep.
Sailix, you're first.
All right, another athletics check. Here we go.
$32 is a success.
All right, he literally just goes up and puts his foot in the middle of her chest and sends her backwards.
Boom. One more point and you're out. Sailix is at 4. Aghi, you're at 3. Next round.
Had to do something big.
Sailix, you're first.
All right. Tempting to just finish it off. Oh, no. Ah.
He grew a little too confident, huh? Aghi, what do you do? He makes a terrible attempt at tripping you. Predictable, I would say.
Yeah, you've done this a couple times, exactly the same. She will bring her elbow down on sort of that side part of the knee. Again, kind of throwing the rules out the door. And then from there, just try and like literally throw him out of the ring. Able to. She's trying to cause some pain as well as get him out.
I see. Not a lot of pain, and the impact wasn't enough to score you 2 points as you hoped, because that would have won you the game on fair terms, though, which would have been a surprise for you. But now we're match point as you both stand. Does anybody have any ideas?
There are some furious
Aghi,
hand gestures.
Yeah, you notice people are exchanging money like you haven't even seen before.
Monica's just sitting there with meat on a stick going, this is great.
Aghi, you have a hero point. If you wish to use it, you can. Otherwise, Sailix goes first.
Let's use that hero point.
It's a very low chance it's going to help you.
Ooh, this
But
is
there's
so
a
exciting.
chance.
This is so exciting.
All right.
Oh no!
Sailix goes first. Go ahead and roll it.
She's still gonna
Alright.
talk smack.
DC
Oh, yeah.
29. She's talking smack as you charge over. 32 is a success.
Yeah.
All right. Big
Sailix
finish.
is the victor.
So as he charges over, and he like will kind of creep low, like he had before, where he was about to put his shoulder into her stomach, but instead he jumps up and hits her with a spinning roundhouse kick, knocking her out of the ring.
She would have been fully expecting to receive it low, like you were copying your previous moves.
Boom. People fall silent. Some people cheer, some people groan.
Sailix just kind of wiped the blood off his lip, like, better luck next time.
At least there'll be a next time. Okay, adjusting her jaw. Here are a couple cracks.
So Sailix walks over to Vesprin and whispers something in her ear. And as he leans back, he kind of like gives her that like a really concerned look. Like it looks like he's concentrating on something, and then he just kind of walks off.
I feel like Vesprin's like wearing a new coat and like just like, like some of your boys are really nice. nice, thought it was cold. And they all said that, like, they were very upset that I didn't have enough jewels to adorn my neck. It was so kind of them,
Jeez.
really. You
Profiteer
raised
from Cantargo.
you raised a really great squad of individuals. Like, I've been too hard on them.
So Monica would go up to Sailix and can't reach very high, so just give him a pat on the side and say, good job. And all of a sudden his knee feels better as she heals him for 7 points.
Oh shit. He'll just kind of I don't know if that would be rude or not. I was like kind of nod. And I was gonna pat her and be like, thanks, but he'll just kind of nod towards him like, thank you.
Aldonis is gonna leave soon.
He just kind of stares off into the into the fire. Yeah, I'm working on that.
Well, I saw on the map where he's going. Where he's gonna split off is not too far ahead. So try not to drag your heels. And I walk away.
Well, with
A
that
week
being
later,
said-
on the road, you reach that point. Aldonis maybe doesn't know that Sailix knows. This crossroads here. That road eventually one day does lead to Katapesh. Should anyone be brave or stupid enough to make the whole journey. Nobody was expecting to stop at this crossroads. Instead, they would head straight towards Breach Hill. But Sailix, someone's going to depart here. Do you talk to him?
He kind of waits for everybody to kind of go forward. Waiting for Aldonis to kind of drop back.
Yeah.
He has a pack, like a book bag, kind of, sort of, and he just kind of waits for like the rest of the horses and everything to gallop forward.
Monica is there just giving him a hug and whispering in his ear, and he's kind of hunched over trying to hug her back, but she stands back and gets back on her pony and gives them some space. And he looks at Rune, he looks at Sailix, his other father figure.
I have 2 eyes, thanks.
You do.
Oh.
And last time we saw Room, he had none. So anyway, he looks at Sailix and says, we really didn't have a chance to talk about this part.
You don't have to tell me anything. You're grown. Make your own choices now.
Yeah.
He reaches into the pack and he pulls out a long, like, wrapped up canvas thing. And he hands it to him. He's like, that's for you.
What is it?
It's my first blade that I had when I left home. It's elven, so be careful. It's still sharp.
Yeah, I have to learn how to fight left-handed, so it's
Right.
going to take a bit.
I'm sure you'll pick it up pretty easily. But he'll reach up underneath of his spalder and he'll pull off that the armlet that he always wore. And he'll put it around Aldonis's like huge ass wrist. Like, this is mine. This was what I had to remind me of Kellen. And I want you to have it. I'll kind of like hug him. Like, I'm proud of you. No matter what happens next. If you need anything. And he'll just kind of walk away.
Thank you. And don't die. And with that, he will he'll wave once more to anybody who's looking. You know, if Vesperin turns around, he'll be like,
yeah. Yeah, she would have basically just said to him, like, you know, I know our last moments weren't quite the best, but, you know,
he reaches into his pack and gets out the last bottle of red cask whiskey
oh!
and says, Mom said it was okay.
You shouldn't have. But seriously though, it's good to see you finding a path, and one that seems to be working for you.
Thanks, and take care of Sailix, please. It's hard. I know. I tried. But
he's got more strength than you now. And he's probably going to be taking care of most of us.
you know,
It'll be all right. As long as, you know, he knows that you're being taken care of and you're doing what you need.
yeah. If you ever feel brave, come visit me. All right. And
See where the path branches at its peak before it turns over. Silhouette of your guide as you know him to be.
Oh, looks
He's
like
looking at
I'm
you.
not making this part of the journey by myself. So he'll go and give Monica one last hug now that she's actually on a level where he can hug her. And she'll shove him off and just be like, go before I get all emotional. And head off. Are you ready, Kerchonis?
He nods.
Well, let's do this thing.
You two take that lonely path, leaving the Unforgotten behind as they head to Breach Hill. A week or so, and you arrive at that little mountain town that you remember. Monica, Vesperin, Sailix, Aghi, and 4 dozen Crimson Ravens. Salix, it's just about as you remember it. But what do you guys want to do as you arrive?
I want to
It's
state
quite cold.
I want to state for the record, the whole trip, Monica has been practicing with her short bow, trying in vain to just get better at it. But first thing she wants to do is go to the keg.
Excellent. Anybody else have pressing issues? Or is the keg something like the first place you check out?
Sailix to go find Will.
Espo would probably just follow Salix unless he told her to fuck off. Then she'd probably follow him secretly just to troll him.
Throwing cans
So the
at
question-
him and shit.
Yeah.
Important question. Salix, did you tell Vesper to fuck off?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good. All right.
That would have been hilarious.
Purely by chance, Will wasn't keeping guard. Must be that he works night still on this afternoon, so he would be resting right now.
All right. He would go find him where he is sleeping.
In the barracks.
And he would quietly approach.
Make a stealth check.
Sailor's like, shh, to Vesperin.
Yeah.
Vesper, make a stealth check.
Okay. I feel like
Balgora starts to whisper.
Murder him. Is it
feel like-
enough not to get caught, though? That's what I'm trying to...
I feel like this is literally like one of those times where like, you know, where you want to like it's like, you know, when you're trying your parents are like trying to get in on your hobby and they're like, you know, yeah, we're super into what you're doing and like, you know, cuz it's like Vespa's just like literally gliding like smoke and making it look easy and she's just hearing Sailix behind her like clang clang clang.
It's not that
You know,
bad.
He, innately
Yeah.
did pretty well, all things considered. The clanks are quite
Yeah.
quiet, and Will tosses and turns a bit, but he's asleep. His room at the barracks is actually right by the cell where Vaz was kept.
Sailix is gonna like crouch down real close to his face and just kind of blow and like. Except each time he doesn't wake up, he's gonna pop another clove of garlic in his mouth and go.
Make a reflex save.
Nat 20.
Oh, Matrix dodged.
All right, so like an arrow, from immediately bolting out, he had been pretending to be asleep. A dagger shoots towards you. You manage to catch his wrist with the tip of the blade an inch from your face. He was quite terrified, keeping his eyes shut, pretending he didn't know. Pretending he was asleep. He didn't know who you were. He thought you were out to kill him. The look of terror on his face when he realizes that he would have implanted that dagger in your skull, not knowing it was you. Luckily, you're pretty canny. You managed to thwart it, and that look of shock starts to boil over. But you could see the adrenaline pumping through his veins as he pulls himself up, and then just pushes you across the room over to the stone wall on the other side.
Sailix is like, I deserve that.
Yeah, you have any
Right.
idea? And who's this?
Hello, I'm Vesperin. Nice to meet you.
That's Vesperin. Nice to meet you. This is Will.
just-
Well, welcome
Let's
back
just-
to your town, brother.
Oh, I mean, this is by far and large, this is your town now. I give it to you. All yours. You can have it. Done.
I so graciously received this, but to write so much as a letter. Where were you, Sailix?
I have written you letters. You never wrote back. I was beginning to think that you were struck dumb.
He's gonna get out of bed, pull over clothes. I mean, it's chilly out. This is kind of a high altitude town, and the breeze rolls in. It's bitter, but he's gonna put on a cloak and just sort of head outside, dismissing you.
Oh, don't be like that. This is... Come on, every time I come to this fucking town.
Every time you come to this town, you want something.
I don't
Sailix,
want...
what's it now?
And I don't... What's it now?
I'll take a
Fucking-
wild guess what it is now, brother. And he's gonna look at Vesperin. You want to fight another war.
Well, yes, but no.
He's done this before.
No,
A dozen times.
You don't listen to him. You don't listen to him at all.
I don't know. he's saying some real interesting things.
Look, I did not bring you here for family catch-up time. Wilfred over here, I wanted to come and say hi because I was passing through to go see our father. If you would like to come and join me on a trip to see dear old dad, by all means, I'll have a horse ready for you. But it wasn't to invite you to a war, little brother.
His jaw drops.
There's some things we have to talk about.
We haven't spoken to our father in years.
Yes, I know. But things have come to light that I need to inform you of. A lot of things have come to light.
Okay.
All right. Oh, by the way, Sailix will direct his attention to the 4 dozen Crimson Ravens that are now like probably huddled up together somewhere. They're with me. They're generally good people. Generally, just keep them away from the shops because the potion merchant likes to gouge you, and they'll take that as an act of corruption, and they'll beat him to death in the middle of the court.
At least they don't smell like garlic.
Yeah. Who knew chewing garlic was so calming? And he'll like put his arm over Will's shoulder. He's like, "Don't you want to give your big brother a big kiss?" As he blows all this garlic breath all over his face.
He doesn't respond, but he moves to lace up his boots that are actually your boots, but you have the tendency to skip town.
What, me? No.
Back at Cadence Keg, before the horde of mercenaries arrive.
I brought Aghi with me if she wanted to come.
Yeah, get day drunk? Middle of the town in the middle of
Yep.
nowhere? Or are you following the Crimson Ravens? Okay.
Guess so.
Tall, lanky, blonde-haired, Chelish man behind the counter. A bit older now, maybe. A couple of gray hairs.
Hey, handsome. How you doing?
A look of horror on his face. His jaw drops. Suddenly he's trembling. Hi.
Get over
Hello.
here. Come on.
mm,
Come on. Bring it in.
he doesn't move towards you.
Oh,
A
please, I'm
quivering
not
hand
dead.
moves over towards the underside of the bar.
Oh, stop it. What do I need to do to prove that I'm me?
He looks at the half orc. How do you respond?
Oh, she's a new friend.
And what does she say?
Do most men respond this way to you?
He's slightly scared because I was dead.
Yes. She was dead. And when the dead come back, they're undead. So
Nope. Here, you can touch. I'm warm to the touch. Come on.
Aghi
Or
will like lean
goblins.
forward and sniff her. Smell undead.
She smells like seasoning and like she cooks all the time. She's been cooking the whole time. So yeah, she smells like food.
Yep, doesn't smell dead to me.
Aiden, I promise you, I'm not undead. Some guy brought me back, and yeah, here I am.
well, we need to talk.
Okay, that's a little ominous.
I should probably go.
Sure. I guess I'll be here for a minute.
Aghi, you notice this place is peculiar. This is a human town, yet most of the patrons here are goblins. Monica, they're not goblins you recognize, but
Well,
likely
goblins
to-
have a short lifespan, so
right. It hasn't been that long though, and there's quite a few of them in here, but they seem to be bumble brashers. Aiden brings drinks and food to an open table. He gestures
Okay.
you to sit.
go over and sit.
And he heads over to a storage closet in the corner. Usually dry food or unsorted shipments. But he brings back, he drags a heavy crate at the bottom of this closet over your way, and it's making a strange noise.
Like what kind of noise? Like something
Make a-
inside of it is alive noise?
No, but you can make a perception check.
Okay. I don't like when you say that. That's a 37.
Just a weird humming, like reverberation. Sounds almost like wind chimes, maybe. But he doesn't. He's not responding as if he hears it. Thrusting a knife into the side of it, he cracks the lid of this crate, pulling it off, and then taking the sides off a heavy cauldron.
Should cauldron?
It hums. It's polished silver. It looks incredibly heavy, but there's just this strange noise coming from inside it.
When did this get here?
Months ago.
Okay. And has it always been making that noise?
Yep. He pulls a note from the bottom of the crate where it was resting. It's written to a name you recognize.
Oh boy.
Somebody's reaching out to you.
Which one? My first name? Yeah. Oh, God damn it. All right. I open it and look at it.
It's written in common.
Okay.
Not well, though. And it just says, take great care. It was your mother's.
She gets kind of misty-eyed and is it written in my mother's hand or is it
No,
or no? No.
poorly written.
Poorly written. Wow. Okay. Okay. This is probably a bad idea, but I'm gonna go touch it and see if that'll stop the humming.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Whew. Did not. Every time I come back, there's some blast from the past. Okay. Well, that's a thing. I guess I could start cooking with it again. But you know, how is everything? Are you okay? The last time the Unforgotten
Me?
came
Yeah,
back.
yeah. No, I'm fine. Nothing's changed. He gestures broadly. In a way, everything is the same. It's just a different version. The menu is different. Drinks are different. Different fruits are in season, and it's a different set of goblins. But it's the way you remember it.
Okay. I mean, I don't have. I don't think I'm welcome on the next part of Sailix's journey. So, you know, if you want help, I'd be happy to step back in the kitchen.
That would make me happy.
Yeah, it would make me happy too.
He squashes a bug with his shoe, and then gets up to wipe the mantle of the fireplace.
You did good, Aiden.
Looking over to you from the fire. Thank you.
So, Aghi, what do you usually drink?
Aghi looks up. She was sitting over by some goblins, just chatting with them, trying to figure out. And she raises sort of this tankard and got it covered.
Okay. I will I will with surprising strength pick up my mother's cauldron and bring it out back.
All right.
Because I'm super strong.
Sailix and Vesperin, do you do anything before it's time to head out again?
Making fun of Will a little bit. Just,
He's immune to it.
you know, sibling stuff.
Mhm.
I feel like it's a thing where, like, you know, Vespa kind of seems to be like while she has her usual like troll face of amusement and everything, like it actually seems like she is enjoying seeing like the siblings having this like bickering thing, because it's like, you know, again, she doesn't
Yeah.
really have family that are alive that she knows about. Because I don't know with you, Ian.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one of those things of like, you know, kind of like seeing that thing that like you've forgotten about for a while and having that like quiet
Right.
appreciation of like, oh, that's so nice. While she's just, you know, egging on Sailix in the same usual way.
He'll look over in the middle of this roasting, down at the boots that aren't his, wearing a cloak that wasn't his, all money that his brother
Oh yeah.
made before skipping town. That's the little brother inheritance. And he looks over at Vesperin and then back at Sailix. You two an item.
Define item.
I wonder if she would have the same response.
I feel like she is looking very intently at how
He looks
Sailix
back-
is answering this question.
Sailix will kind of think about it, tap his chin, like, no, we are not. She enjoys her freedom. I enjoy my freedom. Sometimes we enjoy freedom together. I do intend to enjoy her company quite a lot. But she is a free woman. She can do whatever she wants. She can plow whatever field she sees fit. She'll find no judgment on my end.
You spare no opportunity to make it awkward, brother. Vesperin, if that's the name.
Hi. Your
Just be
brother has
prepared. This is his sense of humor.
I mean, I was gonna say he has a way with words, except when he doesn't. It seems
Right.
like one of them times.
By the end of it, you'll be envying the half-elf's short lifespan. You have to survive this shit. I'll be dead long, long before he's gone.
As long as it's a life that's interesting. It's been pretty colorful so far.
All right, brother. Let's see Dad.
At the mention of that, Sailix's face goes from smiling to cold grimace. Just yes.
Hmm.
Let's go see him.
But before you do that, we'll say it's a couple days later as your group recovers. Say goodbye to Monica.
Yeah, he would.
This was fine to let him do that by himself.
Yeah. How about the half orc that challenges Sailix?
He
At
would
his every
very
step.
expressly avoid her. Like he would shadow step into Monica's room, avoiding.
Monica's in the kitchen.
Shadow step out of the fucking cauldron. I don't give a shit. Like he was like his face just comes out of the liquid. You alone?
Boiling over.
Use the back door like normal people. God.
Yeah, no, he would come into the back, like very like obviously looking for Aghi. Like, she's not here, is she?
Why would
Actually,
she be
make
in
a
the
stealth
kitchen?
check versus the perception DC of this person who's trying to mildly ruin your life.
I don't know what her perception is.
Perception is 18, so the DC is 28. You met it, so you beat it. You narrowly avoided her torment.
Pulls his wing in at the last moment.
Perfect.
I don't know why she's in the kitchen. Why was she in the? Why is she here in the first place? I don't know. But
Well,
I know that
okay.
where I'm going
Hi.
next, she can't come.
Wait. What? Okay. So, first of all, hi. Nice to talk to you. Secondly, what do you mean she can't come with you?
It's we're going to the Kyonin. It's the elven
What?
capital.
Okay.
It's kind of like a very elf-only kind of place, you know.
Are you taking your Crimson Ravens with you? Because not all of them are elves.
No, Will said they could kind of stay here until we come back through. Or they'll post camp up probably a league or so out, and we'll just pick them up on the way back. Like, it's a work in progress. Look, keep your voice down. I'm not trying to let Aghi know that I'm here, all right?
Hang on. Stay here. Hey, Aiden. Don't let anybody back here, okay?
I never. Okay.
I know. I'm just assurances. Thank you. Okay. So you're going to the Elven capital. You're taking Will with you?
Right. I have to talk to my... I have to talk to my father.
Ew. I'm sorry.
Yes, me too.
Do you expect it will take a long time?
I expect that the old man will give me nothing but a hard time. And nothing that I will actually want to hear.
Okay. How long do you think you'll be gone?
Oh, well, Idara is probably maybe a 3-day ride from here.
Where?
Idara,
Okay.
the capital. We
I
live.
thought you said Nadal for a minute, and then I got worried. Okay, anyway. Keep going.
Wait a second. Perception check versus deception DC, Sailix.
God damn it. Wait, so Sailix is doing perception and I'm doing deception?
So it's your deception DC. So it's whatever your bonus is plus 10.
Okay.
She just has to meet.
No, he gets it. It's 27, so.
Monica thought you said Nidal, and a look of panic immediately washes over her face. Nightdal is known for a couple of creepy things. Their politics, it's all kind of bizarre and shadowy, but nothing you would have attributed to Monica, a halfling. She seemed terrified for a flash at the mention of it, Sailix. Noteworthy, but
Anyway, so you are planning on coming back after you've done this visit.
I plan on dropping Will at the gate and keeping on my way. If it's too far out of the way, we might not even come back, and Will can make the trip himself.
Dude, rude much.
It's part of the job.
All right. So what do you want me to do?
I'm simply coming by to say goodbye.
Well, yeah, hello, goodbye, I guess.
It's... Yeah.
You are the only family I have left. You would better come back, okay?
One day. One day. And he'll kind of like, as he's leaving, he'll like look at a spice or something, and he'll just kind of push it ever so out of place.
And she will take out of her back pocket her spice box and put it in his hand. Don't make bland food.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Okay. Be safe, all that jazz.
Yeah. Don't burn my town to the ground.
It's my town too. I'll keep it safe for you.
He'll wave as he walks out the door.
surprising you as you leave, leaning on the wall beside the door. This half-orc with her hair braided.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Small town.
Yes.
Have you been avoiding me?
Has it been that apparent?
You Sailix. Interesting. So
Aghi,
what's the plan?
I'm going to leave and you're not.
So you're abandoning the Crimson Ravens?
No, they're coming with me. Just not you.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, that's it. Just no, you're not invited.
Well, I mean, if I were going the same direction, kind of easy to follow 4 dozen Crimson Ravens and a big winged man.
Oh, you'd be surprised how hard it is to follow me if you really try. Anyway, I would very much like it if you did not come along. But if you do, I can't stop you. But you cannot come into Kyonin at all.
So
They'll
says
kill you. I will have nothing to do about it. This is just a word of forewarning. If you walk into the Elven capital, they will slaughter you before you reach the gates. Nastier people than me sit atop those perches. Nastier people than you are right behind them. And the worst people of all are within those walls. you do not want to go there, you can stay with the Crimson Ravens outside of in a little encampment, and me and Will will be in and out. We'll be back, and you can pester me all along the way to somewhere else.
Sounds good. But I don't really listen to you, so I guess we'll see what happens.
Sure. I mean, I'm not gonna step in front of an arrow for you, so I'm just word of warning. Call it professional courtesy.
Okay.
One of the Crimson Ravens. He's going to step up to Vesper, and as she's talking to Will, you notice, about a block away. Are the bets still on? As he eyes the half-orc and Sailix.
They're always on. What's the wager?
10 gold. She kicks his ass before we reach Kyanan.
You're on then.
And with that, do our adventurers head to the Elven capital.
Yay!
Bandits have much wiser decisions to make than to even try to shank a group like that. Every once in a while you have wildlife, some pests, but it's almost painfully uneventful, especially without someone like the director. God's rest his soul. You arrive, and outside the camp, the elves, maybe 6 or 7 of the Crimson Ravens, plus Vesperin, Wilfred Lavendil, and his older brother, Sailix Lavendil. You'll arrive to speak to your father. Before you even reach the capital, he lives in a small village called Crestwood. But we're not going to go over what you guys talk about. I imagine most of it's just small talk,
Most of it.
save for the critical detail.
The whole reason for the trip.
But even as you were to tell him about his beloved wife, so long ago, that she didn't die, you would think he'd be quick to act about it, but he seems resigned and sad, almost like it's a chapter of his life he doesn't even want to relive anymore. He just wants to hear about how his sons are doing and how they managed to get tied up with a sea elf. They're rare around these parts. Of course, they're not unwelcome. But every time you try to push something, he always goes back to small talk.
Sailix would look at him like dead ass serious in the face one time when he's asking about how his sons are doing. And he'll be like, Dad, why don't you tell me about how Zestrix is doing?
He turns the sign on his apothecary to closed. He takes off his glasses, sets them down on the counter. He was wiping it, but he stopped. If you had a son, you'd understand.
Oh, I have a son. And if he was plagued with a shadow twin leeching off of his life force in another realm, I would have done everything in my fucking power to make sure that he would die. And my son that was alive would live his life to the fullest. But that's not what you did, is it, Dad? You sat there with my head on your lap in an open grove, whispering to Zestrix about how one day he'll be back.
You have a son?
Yeah, I do. One that you'll never meet. Because the poison that runs through your veins will never grace his fucking ears.
Get out.
He'll turn to leave.
Looks at Vesperin standing beside Will. Examining, seeing, trying to get a read on her, seeing if she was aware of this at all. The strange things about elves is that they grow up relatively quickly,
Mhm.
and then they stay young for a long time. So if you didn't know, you would think all of these elves are the same age, save for the
Yeah.
half elf. So he looks very much like Sailix. Spitting image, but he's not as pretty. That makes sense. Sailix has this grace, this featureless, this weird sense of frustrating perfection. Makes his face pretty punchable. Actually, he doesn't have this. He's rough. He still has the pores that you would see in an elf. It's not celestial like that. But he looks at you, shocked, trying to see if you understood anything that Salix just said. Having a son, about
I-
Zestrix.
I feel like it's a thing where like usually she has like again that very like bemused, very like there is a joke that only I know kind of like air to her and everything like that. But I feel like at this point like she is eerily unreadable. Um especially when like he looks at her like it's like as a like especially if he's like looking at her to find an ally, it's like very obvious she's just like this blank wall.
He looks at Will. Get out. Not saying anything, Will turns on his brother's boots and leaves. How about you, Vesperin?
I feel like she would wait a moment and like look at him and just kind of be like, you care more about the dead than the living, huh?
You didn't experience what I experienced.
No, I experienced the consequences of your actions. And those consequences, your son is going to have to bear for the rest of his life. You brought the wrath of the gods themselves down on him. And that is what you have to bear for the rest of your life. And then she'd leave.
He shuts the door gently after you three are out. If you were traveling with a certain rambunctious gnome, you would be disappointed. There's not a lot of stories to tell about the journey south. You have to find water to arrange for ship passage if you're to head far east, intercontinentally. You figure the city of Almas in Andoran, a few hundred miles south of here, that's the easiest way to get there. Unless you wanted to go the long way and return to Breach Hill or Kintargo to go for a visit. Salix, are you in a hurry?
Well, before I forget though, I
Right.
wanted to say, like after they left the house and everything, like Esperin would just very quietly like slip her hand into Sailix's and just like not say anything, but just, give that like I got you kind of feeling through touch, not with words.
Yeah, I
Will is
imagine Salix would be like just completely quiet the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, she wouldn't pry, she wouldn't poke, she'd just be that like presence.
You can tell Will wants to break the silence about the news, but he doesn't.
On the way back, right before Salix departs with everybody, leaving Will on his journey home, Salix will tell him about Kellen. And like fully, he would spare
Yeah.
and he wouldn't try to make himself out to look good or anything in the process. He'll tell him the full truth from his perspective.
Could you tell him about Zestrix?
He'll tell him that Kellen knew. And as far as he knew, as far as he knows now, he's gone. The goddess Pharasma saw fit to that herself,
Right.
personally.
Yeah, that his absence. You have no indication that he's anywhere to be found. Usually, I mean, he would at least try to pull something by now, but his absence is felt. A few more weeks to travel from Kyanan to the free nation of Andoran. Salix, you hear a rumor in this mini metropolis. Population is 6 times larger than Kintargo. This place is bustling. As you arrive, rumor mill is stirring. You hear people are aware of your journey. It's extremely rare that someone would travel intercontinentally for anything other than trade. In a large tavern on this coastal city of Almus, you're questioned. It's the barkeep. As you arrive, he asks you what ship you're going to take. If you've picked one out, rumors have it people are lining up for the offer.
Lining up for the offer to come with me.
I'll just take you there.
Oh, really?
A lot of money to be had taking it overseas.
It's dangerous.
Tea and spices are legendary. To return to a town like this, the ship full of stuff like that, you retire.
You know, the tea and spices are legendary, but so is the slavery. So, the way I'll barter, or I plan to barter, our safe travel is we'll make sure we get there. They'll load their cargo without being taken as slaves. And whatever captain's crazy enough to take that deal, that's the captain that I'll ride my crew with.
Looking back, it's about a score of prospective captains in this tavern. They've been sort of following you around like paparazzi, opening the swinging doors on this spring day. A cellist captain you recognize.
Get the fuck out of here. Crassius Sargata, whatever you want to call him.
When do we leave?
As soon as you get that rinky-dink ship back in order.
I've got a new one.
Can't wait to see her. Or
It's to your liking.
him.
Him, her, they. This thing's got cannons. That's all I know. You can name it. I'm done naming ships.
All right then. Set out in the morning.
It's good to be back, Sailix.
He'll like tap the bar. He's like, "Let me buy you your first drink."
Aghi, Vesperin, anything you do before this final departure?
Aghi is pretty much drinking herself into oblivion at this point. She is not excited to be on a boat at all.
Are we still in Kyonin or are we somewhere else?
So you are in the city of Almas.
Okay.
You leave. You're on the coast.
Okay.
You head out to the open seas tomorrow.
Okay.
Is there anything you need to do to make peace with the continent of Avestan before you head out on Sailix's bizarre transcontinental quest?
I feel like Vesperin would be engaging in great acts of debauchery. Because, you know,
Are you gonna try to bring somebody with you to this place?
No.
This city, I mean, the larger the city, the greater the number of there's like a relationship between the number of harems in a city and just the size of it.
Yeah.
So it's a large city.
Yeah.
And there's bound to be some basic amount of sin. Do you bring any of you with you?
Wait, on the ship? No.
No, to the places you go to before you depart.
Oh. Like as far as
This is a religious expedition.
Oh yeah.
That's how I'm rolling it.
Oh, gotcha. I would definitely invite Sailix to pray. If he should
make a deception check on your loose wording that you're very aware of the deception behind versus a perception DC. I know you have a hero point.
Oh. No, I think it's funnier if it's very obvious that she's like not even trying. Like,
yeah.
You
So
know.
Sailix, Temple of Callistria just means brothel. It's very obvious to you. The last time you had a night that started like this, it ends with you waking up in the middle of a disaster. That's what happens with the director. Now you kind of have a lot on the line tomorrow morning. What with your great grand magnum opus of a journey in the morning, do you accept or decline?
See, it's very important. You know, Callistria is the goddess of luck, among other things. You know, not important things. And you see, if we worship her, and we get a blessing before we go, and we're gonna need a lot of luck, like that's just gonna be a thing. You know, and I'd want you to come with me because you know we're getting closer, and it's important that we share things together. You know,
Right.
Yeah, and I want you to get to know more about me and the things that are important to me. And
I understand. Well, Vesperin, I appreciate the offer. I really do. But there's certain things that we don't need to share. You know, like some private habits, STDs, you know, whatever you pick up in the Temple of Callistria stays with you. It's kind of like Cantargo. What happens in Cantargo stays in Cantargo. Now,
I mean, but again, though, I
I'll
would just
be here
really
for you.
want to see you open up to this religious, profound experience. Just really have it flow through you.
He'll lean real close to her ear and he'll say her real name. He's like, we'll have 6 months of just me and you and 4 dozen other men on a ship. There'll be plenty of me and you time opening it up. So you have your fun tonight. I have to plan.
You promise.
I promise.
Okay. And she would just be like,
What unfolds next? Not next. Tomorrow's next.
Yeah.
You depart on your ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Vesperin
hard
is
curtains
wearing-
are up there.
completely different clothes than she came in with.
Hard curtains are up there.
She
So the
has
next,
a new tattoo. Like, it's cool.
that ship has sailed. Literally. Sailix, what do you name this ship on its inaugural journey? And you are put on the spot by your ship captain.
The Bane of Ravenswood.
Let me just write that down. Let me just, okay, that's official. So the next couple of years is a blur. For Monica, Breach Hill is everything that it needs to be. We'll go over what that really means later. And for Aghi, Vesperin, and Sailix, you embark on what you eventually realize is far more than you ever thought it would be. Years of fighting, up and down an evil nation. Tens of thousands of corpses later, you'll find a victory. Scarlet Triad is a name that you have almost forgotten by now. Every trail, every lead you ever had before you set sail here is dead. And across the water, you don't hear their name at all. They're just gone. Hiding exceptionally well, yet again. And on the 5th anniversary of Kellen's death, unbeknownst to any of you, just north of Kintargo, in a cove at the ruins of some old town, a little gate starts to shake and crackle as electricity forms around the edges. It's almost like runes coming back. That's where we're going to end it off tonight, guys. All right. So this had been 5 years of downtime.
God.
And I had no idea what any of that was going to be. And you blew me away. Thank you to our returning guest, who's actually no longer a guest, Sam, for introducing the character to put Sailix in his place.
I really can't wait to see how their relationship unfurled for 5
Yeah.
years.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
Aghi.
Yeah.
So
Lots of battles.
Oh, man.
So they're real
Yeah.
acquainted now.
So
I
start
think-
thinking about what the
Yeah.
last 4 years was, because it was battle after battle after battle, just
Yeah.
wartime stuff. You guys should have a lot of rapport by now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. So the next week until we get to, I'm be rapid
Love it.
fire messaging like both of you.
Love
like,
it.
hey,
Yeah.
we did this at one point. We also did this. We did some crazy shit here.
Mhm.
This happened.
Yeah,
Sure.
there's definitely a town that Vesperin's not allowed to go to anymore.
Oh my god! You have your
Towns.
Yeah,
and then
like,
one
like
time at war camp.
yeah, like we don't talk about, Sherwood anymore. Like,
I know this is a different campaign, but Munich.
Basically Munich. Exactly that. So
Oh,
let's
God.
let's do our outros. Daniel.
Hi guys, I am Daniel. I have been playing Sailix Lavendil, the Crestfallen. Probably gonna have to come up with a new name for him after this. But it has been amazing tonight. I definitely got misty eyed there at a moment. I was like, oh, God.
Saying goodbye to Aldonis.
Yeah, definitely.
That departure. Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I was playing the Vesperin, Sea Elf Rogue, and I enjoyed discussing the religious experience. You can find me on the internet as Savage Sparrow, specifically at savagesparrow.com. I just put all of my super awesome witchy things online, so if you want an amazingly soft and fluffy blanket or other cool things like dresses, fanny packs, t-shirts, whatever, I got you covered, savagesparrow.com.
Spence.
I'm Spence. I played Aldonis, the warg, going off on his own hero's journey, and Monica, the halfling, who goes by other names. Yeah, this lots of interesting things, but also missing her peeps, missing her sibling / parent partner person.
It's almost
And yeah, but also really glad to be home. Oh,
that's
5
what
years
Monica
at home?
needed.
5 years at home, being able to cook for a ton of people? Hell yeah.
Whew. Sam.
Hey guys, I'm Sam. I played Aghi, the half orc yandere waifu stalker person. Something new. Who knows? It's 5 years is a lot of time to flesh
It's
out
a
a character.
well, it was like 4 and change, not exactly quite 5.
Yeah.
And maybe you were a closed book the whole time, so you still they still don't know anything about you because you're too busy,
I think
murdering, killing.
Sailix avoided me for 4 years, so
That's
We're-
probably
Yeah.
fair.
We're
Yeah.
leading the same army. Like, I'm
Just
right
different
there
sides.
with you.
you led the western half. I
Yeah.
led
Yeah.
the eastern front,
And I
and
feel like Vesperin's just like ferreting messages, just like, I don't even know why I'm fucking doing this, but she said,
Oh my god.
like, you really gotta fucking talk to, like, she's right there.
she's a
Salix,
nice
why is it always the
person.
flanking crab maneuver? Is it because you guys don't want to be near each other? That's
Duking it
great.
out.
Well, if you liked what you saw on the screen, that is the virtual tabletop. Go to fantasygrounds.com if you want to check it out. Our music is Rock Narden and our ambient tracks is Michael Gelfi, but I'm going to let you guys get some sleep tonight. So adios and thank you for watching. We'll be back next week at 8:30 p.m.
Peace.
Eastern Daylight